Not only is it the most recognizable Christmas song ever, it helped shift the focus of the entire music business. This is the story behind the Christmas hit, White Christmas.
Behind the Christmas hits with Drew Savage.
Written by Irving Berlin and sung by Bing Crosby for the 1942 movie Holiday Inn. Crosby played Jim Hardy, an entertainer who turns his farm into a vacation spot that would only be open on holidays. Irving Berlin was commissioned to write a song about each of the different major holidays. He had been working on a Christmas song for a while. In fact, legend has it that he told his musical secretary way back in January of 1940 to type up the lyrics to a song he had written over the weekend in La Quinta, California, just outside Palm Springs. He said, tongue-in-cheek, "Not only is it the best song I ever wrote, it's the best song anyone ever wrote." Once the call came for Holiday Inn, he pulled White Christmas out of his trunk. The first thing he did was scrap the entire first verse. The original version didn't start with, "I'm dreaming of a white Christmas." Instead, it was "The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA. But it's December the 24th, and I'm longing to be up north." It sounds lovely, but yeah, he made the right call. During the production of the movie, and still months before it would be released, Bing Crosby sang the song for the first time on his live radio program on Christmas Eve, 1941, just 18 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Crosby announced that he would debut a new Irving Berlin song from his upcoming movie. He actually didn't record the song in a studio until the following May. When the movie premiered in August of 1942, it was the Valentine's Day song, "Be Careful, It's My Heart," that was released as the first single. And looking back, few critics even mentioned White Christmas specifically in their reviews. Remember, there was a song for every holiday. Things would change a couple of months later. Now, some people think Christmas music starts earlier now than it used to. Well, consider this. White Christmas was released on October 3rd, 1942, and was number one on the Billboard chart by Halloween. It remained at number one until January 1943. In fact, its wild success is credited by some for shifting the entire focus of the music business. During the 30s and 40s, selling sheet music was huge. That's how the writers of the Tin Pan Alley era, including Irving Berlin, made a lot of their money. With the enormous success of Bing Crosby singing White Christmas, people didn't want to learn how to play it. They wanted to hear Bing sing it. Copies of the song would be bundled up and sent to troops overseas. Christmas 1942 was American servicemen's first holiday away. Some have wondered if the U.S. had entered the war sooner, would the song have struck the same chord that it did in 1942? Whether it would have or not doesn't really matter. White Christmas became the world's best-selling single of all time. 50 million copies sold, and that's just the Bing Crosby version. If you add in everyone else's recording, it's over 125 million. It had impact and it had influence. The song would usher in a new wave of Christmas music. Prior to White Christmas, traditional hymns like Silent Night or novelty songs like Santa Claus is Coming to Town dominated the season. The success of White Christmas directly led to more nostalgic feelings of home expressed in songs like I'll Be Home for Christmas and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It won the Oscar for Best Original Song of 1942 and, of course, inspired a movie of its own with Bing, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and Vera Ellen in 1954. Over the years, Bing Crosby has recorded several different versions. The one heard most often now was recorded in 1947. If you hear the flutes at the beginning, you know that's the version you're listening to. I'm Drew Savage. Thank you so much for listening. You can find me on Instagram at Drew Savage on air. You can also help other people find these stories by leaving us a review and clicking subscribe, so you too never miss a story behind the Christmas hits.